Okay, so today we're going out for a ride on the Honda Solo. This is a Honda Solo. This is a factory custom made by Honda back in 2003, based on a Honda 50 Cub. You know, the plastic pig. Right, so back in 2003 they had a special sort of motor division, a bit like Nissan did with the Nissan Figaro, that little convertible car. I think it was a fashion at the time. So Honda said, right, you sort of special productions unit, we want you to make a sort of a custom Honda 50 for people to sort of young, upwardly mobile Japanese people to ride around Tokyo. And this is what they came up with. And I say ride around Tokyo because this bike was only ever sold in Japan. You couldn't buy it anywhere else. So this is actually a grey import. As you can see, all the lovely instructions, whatever they are in Japanese. So this was, well, I bought it from an importer a few years ago. Yeah, made in 2003. I don't know how many were made, not many. But I'm very proud of it. There's not many in the country. I don't know, 10, 12, something like that. I'm not sure. And I just think it's wonderful. I just think it's wonderful. You know, because it looks like, obviously it's a retro and it looks like a 50s, I think it's like a Moto Guzzis moped or something like that. But it looks like a hardtail. But of course it's got a monoshock under the seat, which I think, you know, is pretty ahead of its time. Well, I don't know, 2003. You know, obviously Triumph did it in the Triumph Bobber, sort of 20 years later, whatever, 15 years later. Anyway, I love it. But of course it is a 50cc. You can sort of see by the massive exhaust pipe, it is a 50cc Cub. So today's sort of hurtling ride is not going to be that hurtling. It's a real pootler. You have to have a sort of different mindset when you ride this. It's just about pootling and just having fun and try and keep off the A roads as far as possible. Top speed, I don't know, probably about 40 downhill, something like that. Also, you'll probably notice when I'm not sure how much this sort of when the camera's on, how much of the speedo you're going to see, but there's a light here, a red light that comes on, speed warning. All Japanese bikes have these. All Japanese bikes, even the massive ones. And when you go over 30 miles an hour, that red light comes on. Which is why you'll find some sort of Japanese bikes, you've got a warning light that's just sort of blank, and you think, what's that for? Well, it was almost certainly for the speed warning light that was fitted to the domestic market but not fitted anywhere else. Why does it say speed warning in English, not Japanese? Who knows? Okay, but yeah, I love it. It's my only you know, a Honda, I know, but yeah, I just think it's fantastic. Honda Solo 50. Right, we're off for a ride, and you know, I don't expect too much blurring of the hedgerows as we hurtle around on this. But like I say, it's a different type of ride. It's just a pootle, and you enjoy it for that. Okay, so let's get going. Oh yeah, that's such fun, just ticking over there. It does not like the hills, it's just not got the power for the hills, but you know, on the flat and that, it's great. You know, it's great for nipping around town. The only problem with me nipping it around town is you know, I can't leave it anywhere. You know, so there you go. But anyway, it's great, having a lot of fun, and oh yeah, it's great. Just it's so light, and it's a different experience, and you see more of the countryside because you're going so slow. Anyway, on we go. Well, that was a great ride. I loved it, and the sun's come out, and I just love pootling along, and it was great. But I'm kicking myself because I got to my first stop. Oh, well, you know, I stopped and said how well the bike was going, and then not long after that I stopped for a coffee, and I realised that the damn bolt holding the silencer on had just fallen out. I hadn't tightened it up, so I've had to sort of bodger repair. I borrowed a pencil at the cafe and a bit of wire and tape and stuffed it in just to, so that otherwise the whole silencer, exhaust was hanging on the exhaust manifold, any of that could have snapped off, and so I'm really annoyed at that. And then I'm really annoyed at is I've just got back, and this irreplaceable chrome, well, it's only a plastic chrome cover, but since I stopped and that bolt came out, the damn bolts come out are there. So when I was fixing that, I didn't notice that one was loose. I mean, thank God I didn't lose the cover, because they're completely irreplaceable. But that what, I'm not into originality really, but this is a completely original bike, completely. And now I've lost that bolt, and now I've lost that bolt, and I'm going to struggle. There's these strange sort of cap bolt things that they use on Japanese bikes, what I mean? It's got like a head on it underneath. Bloody annoying. Anyway, I'm sure I can get them, but just damned annoying. So because of that, the sun was just coming out, and I thought, well, I better not carry on, which is actually probably just as well, because I might have lost this silencer thing, silencer cover. But I didn't do a full circuit I was going to do. I turned around and came back, because I thought I didn't know how long my dear old pencil repair was going to hold for. As it is, it's obviously it's still in there. Yeah, I'm laughing because then I had I turned the petrol tap, but I thought it was petrol, so I didn't have to have it on reserve anymore. So I turned it on to normal, and it cut out. And oh God! And I thought, oh God, my the petrol tap is jammed, and I have to clean it out and everything. And then when I've got back, anyway, I realised I'd actually turned the damn thing off. It was there on reserve, and I thought that was on and that was off, but that's on normal, that's off, and that's on reserve. So I was on reserve, turned it to off, and then it cut out, thinking, oh bloody hell, petrol, so I've been riding on, with it still on reserve. Oh God, I don't know, talk about it. But I don't know, my excuse is I've got lots of different bikes and they have lots of different positions on their damn petrol tap. So that is on and that is off. For God's sake. Well, there we go. It's a minor little thing, but I just love this bike. I love this bike. But I've got to replace these two bolts, and just out of stupid, it's just because I haven't looked at it. I just got on it and rode it, and I haven't checked it or done anything to it for months and months. But I should have just given it a little check over before I set off. This is the first time. I know it's August now. No, it's not. It's late July now, and this is the first time I've ridden it this year, just about. No, I have ridden it. No, I rode it once. Like I say, because I love to ride it around town, but then I realise I can't bloody park it anywhere. The other problems I've got is these are fairly unique tyres. These are original tyres, believe it or not. So you might not be able to see this in the light, but the sidewalls are all cracking and stuff. I'm not sure. I'm going to have to replace them at some point. I mean, they're what, 18 years old now, the tyres. They've got a lot of tread still on them, but I don't know if you can see, but they're all cracking. At some point it's going to fail the MOT. MOT's due in a few weeks. Of course it does need an MOT because it's a 2003 bike, and at some point it's going to fail the MOT, and I'll have to get some sort of, I don't know what we're going to do about tyres, because I know they're a pretty unique size, but I think other sizes you can get to fit. It's just I'm not sure what it will look like with different tyres on. Anyway, there we are. 2003 Honda Solo 50cc moped. And it's now nice and sunny, and I despite all the little sort of faults, little what they call can't think of the word, little problems, hiccups or whatever, then I had a really great ride, and I just love tootling around. Well, it does not like hills. That's the thing, it's fine, but you come to a hill and it just goes, go down to about 10-15 miles an hour. Along the flat, and that's great. And obviously downhill it goes like a rocket, but come to go up a hill, you don't want to know at all. What you can do is, because this is a Honda Cub engine, and believe it or not, do you know how many Honda Cubs they've made? Over 100 million cubs. I'll say that again, 100 million cubs. And yeah, so you can get, I think the Chinese make them under license iFan or something, and you can actually change the cylinder for a 70 or a 90 cc cylinder, which a lot of people do. Just gives you that more grunt, and I'm considering doing that, because then obviously you just keep the barrel on that and just put it back on, you know, to keep it original. But for everyday riding, you can just put a 70 or a 90 head on it, barrel and head and piston. So I might do that, but to be honest, I don't ride it enough to warrant that, really. But it is a problem, you know. I wouldn't say it's dangerous. I do feel a bit, you know, you feel a bit yeah, exposed when you come to a hill, when you're going along at, you know, 30-20 miles an hour up a hill, and some big car comes behind you. It's a bit of a pain, but oh well, it's great to be out on it anyway. There we go.